All right, welcome back, everybody. This is Randy White, Unwired Appalachian podcast. We're back again. We got a very special guest, UPike women's basketball coach Clifton Williams. Great to see you again, Coach.
Great to be here.
Just kind of talk about this off season right now. I mean, people think your job is probably just during the season. How busy has this off season been? I know you've been busy with camps and everything.
Man, it's about, people do think it's just coaching games, right?
Yeah.
It's about 80% planning and camps and academics and recruiting. And then about 20%, we're prepping for practice and working with our kids. So they go home in the summer. So we're able to plan and organize and get things done this time of year.
Yeah, and this time of year we always like to talk about your upcoming roster. You usually got it filled out by now. I know last year you've probably got most of those girls returning who played major roles, I would assume. Probably lost a couple here and there. Just kind of talk about where your roster is right now. Is it filled out? Are you all ready to go? I guess you probably have an understanding of what you'll be working with, and the girls will be coming back by next fall, I'd imagine.
So our roster is complete at this point, and we've gotten really young. We had a couple of young women that had decided to retire based on injury or family situation. So it opened up some extra spots for us that we didn't anticipate having. So while we got young, we still have experience returning, right? With Allie Stone and Rachel Bush, took all-conference, all-American players. Jalea Warren's going to be a sophomore. She's coming back for us. We've got 7 freshmen and then a transfer coming in. So we're gotten young, right? But our freshmen are accomplished young players. So we've gotten deeper as a roster. We probably go 11, 12 deep. I would imagine at this point, obviously we get everybody on campus and see, but future's really, really bright for Pike women's basketball.
I know you like to do a lot of things in the summer, maybe a little later than right now, but just talking about how important the summer is, getting everybody to kind of know each other before the real stressful stuff starts.
It's you do this long enough, and it's like you start to realize that in the NAI level, that we send those kids home, right, in the summertime, and there's a disconnect that happens. And so, okay, we've got to figure out how to change this. So this year we've got 11 Kentucky kids on our roster, right? 2 internationals and then 2 from out of state. So we set up Zoom calls. We've got Zoom calls scheduled throughout the summer. They started in May. Everybody gets on the call. They chose the topics for the calls, whether it's connection, teamwork, whatever it is, right? The players chose the topics, and we get on the phone for 20, 30 minutes and talk to each other. So the connection piece has already started for this group. So by the time they get here in August, they're going to really feel like they know each other or have a good feel for one another. And that's before the ball even bounces. People outside of basketball or outside of team building don't understand how important it is to have connection away from what it is that you're doing. And once you have that, now you have an opportunity to be really, really successful.
Yeah, because the goal is you're all working towards the same goal. It's all on the same page. Talk about how important that is. I know here the last few years you've had team drills, different things to kind of to get that chemistry jump started, I guess, before the season, like you were talking about. Does that always work, or is it sometimes once these veterans come in, they kind of get a feel, and then it's whether they take the younger kids under the wing, or is it kind of a mixture of each season is different, I guess?
Exactly. Each season is different. And so the way we approach it this year, we've always done a book club since COVID hit, right? We needed to find a way to stay connected, and we did it over Zoom that first year. And then we started doing it just in the preseason. So now what we've done we're going to do a weekly meeting the entire 24 weeks that we're together, right? So it'll be structured, and it'll also be flexible to deal with any issues that may crop up over the course of the season. I feel like that's huge. It's going to be a huge difference for these young women, especially having a younger team. And to maintain the connection that you have to have when adversity hits, because it's coming. We just don't know when it's going to hit and how prepared are we going to be for it. Really like the makeup of this particular group and when it comes to connection, staying connected. Yeah.
And I guess, you got a kid like Allie Stone coming back. You got Rachel Bush.
Yep.
How much easier does that right there make it? Because you know what to expect from them. They've been through the wars. They got all the talent in the world. You know what to expect from those girls. How much easier does that make it? Because they're going to set the tone for the rest of the team.
On our current roster, we got 2 seniors and 1 junior, and the rest are sophomores and freshmen. So you bring up Allie Stone and Jaidi Andrade. Jaidi Miha Andrade is our other senior, right? Rachel Bush, a junior. Those are our 3 captains. Those are our 3 leaders. They do set the tone for how we work every day, how we prepare, how we meet off the court, how we interact with one another. Like, the sophomores and freshmen are accomplished basketball players, but learning how things are done in terms of team and how we have to sacrifice and the things that we have to do for one another is part of their learning curve. And so Allie and Rachel and Jaidi bear the brunt of that responsibility in answering questions and being that type of leader that these young players feel like they can step and come to and be comfortable with.
Yeah, and last year I thought Rachel did a great job inside, Jody inside. I mean, that was one of the concerns going into the last year was how are you going to get all those rebounds? Was it team rebounds?
We lose Morgan Stamper, right?
Exactly.
There's somebody that just cleans the glass for you and makes everybody's job easier. And we did it by committee.
Yeah.
Rachel and Jaidi worked hard in the glass, understood their roles. We had some guards step in and rebound the basketball. Katie Colopy did a good job for us last year on the glass. Allie rebounded the ball well. So Jalea rebounded the ball well for us. It's team effort, and we have to understand that. Now, you start talking about some of the players that we have coming in. We're able to sign a freshman out of Knox Central, right? Hallie Collins, who probably led this. She's one of the top rebounders in the state. We've got another Morgan Stamper on our hands, and so we're excited about the future of this team and the talent that we have coming in here.
I always tell people when they talk about you and as a coach, I always say his development is unbelievable. How he gets kids who may be good at one thing at the high school level, he kind of gets them to do everything at the college level. You mentioned Jalea Warren. I think she's one of those girls who took her game to the next level last year as a freshman. Just talk about her development. Was it a little bit quicker than you anticipated last year? But I knew she had it in her. Just talk about how important that development is for players, especially girls like that.
Yeah, Jalea is a talented young woman, like skilled, like she's got the skill, and at the college level, it becomes a mindset in how you work every day. And so her success as a freshman was a little bit surprising to some on the outside looking in, but she put in the work, right? She was in the gym. She was conditioning over the summer before the season even started. So by the time we got to team practice, she was ready. And so shooting 40% from the 3, being on the all freshman team in the AAC, like the expectations are a little bit high for her this year, right? And so, just to give you an idea, like she's in the gym this afternoon. Before I come here, I'm in the gym with her and AJ. So it takes what it takes, and you can't rest on your laurels coming in one year and expect to just ride that wave, all the way to your senior year. Once teams find out about you and you've been on film and scouting reports, you better continue to develop and add to your game. And so she's in the gym and continuing to put in work, and we expect big things out of her.
What kind of example is that for the younger girls coming in, the new girls, the freshmen? They probably went against her in high school, especially the local ones who've seen her play. Then they see her step in and take on a big role. Why does that give them? Yeah, if I work hard, I'm going to get an opportunity. Is that one of those type of things that if they see that from other players?
That's part of it, right? I believe that is part of it. But then you've got the way we set up our program each year is that, it doesn't matter what year you are, junior, senior, sophomore, nothing's promised. Like who comes in ready? Like it puts a little bit of pressure on them in the off season, right? To put in the work and be disciplined about your approach throughout the summer, because once we start in September, that ball starts rolling downhill really, really quickly. So it puts a lot of pressure on them to come in and do the little things to be prepared. We've had a lot of success with players being able to do that. So I see the same thing with Jalea. Like I said, she was in the gym this afternoon before I even came here. It's easier for those girls who live closer to us to come over here, but just to have the discipline to get in on your own, do the weightlifting, do the running, get in the gym and shoot the basketball. The biggest thing for us is if you come in good shape, we'll take care of the rest. Your conditioning is probably the most important thing.
Yeah. You mentioned you're going to have, I think you said 7 freshmen coming in.
Yeah.
Talk about some of the who some of these kids are, because I'm sure a lot of people right now, don't know the full roster, and especially these news girls coming in. I mean, I know if you got them on the team, they probably have some big time talent.
Right. So we'll start close in, right? So Sophie Atkins, Lawrence County, right? She's coming in here. We expect her to make an impact on this team right away. Kyra McLaren is 14th Region Player of the Year, 2-time Player of the Year, Knox County Central. Outstanding player, 3-level scorer, long, probably play some point guard for us as well as a 2.
Yeah.
Then you've got Hallie Collins, 13th Region, Knox Central, top 5 overall rebounder in the state. I think the numbers are out unbelievable that she's put up, like over 3,000 points, almost 2,000 rebounds. Outstanding talent. And then we go across the state, right? So we go to Jada Collins. I'm trying to remember the high school. I'm spacing it. They're gonna get mad at me on this for not getting it. But she's out of Northern Kentucky. We've got Amani Nelson out of Northern Kentucky as well. Holy Cross, Covington Holy Cross for Amani Nelson. It's unbelievable the level of talent that we've got coming in 2025, and it's going to be super competitive. Talent-wise, 7 freshmen, it's going to be outstanding.
Yeah, and you talked about a lot of these girls, local players. Talk about developing that relationship. When you see them here locally, how big is that to have girls from around here come into your program and make impacts? I mean, what does it do with the fan base? What does it do for the program?
It's huge. Like I said, we've got 11 Kentucky kids on a roster of 15. We've never had that many before. I think it makes a huge difference in terms of not only local fan support, but parents being able to travel, regionally and support us as well. We've got the 2 international kids with Jaidi and with, the other kid we got coming in from Australia with Annika Stebbins. So it's huge being able to have these kids take pride in the program because they're Kentucky kids in a Kentucky school, and they know that they're going to make an impact as young players. They're going to be part of this deal. We only have 2 seniors and 1 junior. I mean, we're young.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? But we're going to be tough.
Yeah, and talk, last year, year before, you coming in as tournament champions, conference tournament champions. You were defending last year. You had that target on your back.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to knock you guys off. Had a really great regular season, I thought. Talk about the level of pressure. And, it was big coming in defending it, but now you got a taste of that. Now you got some new talent. Are they hungry to get back there? And is that the goal? I know that's got to be the goal, right?
I mean, those goals are always out there, right? Our goal has to be, as a team, where are we today? What are we willing to do to get better tomorrow and the next day and continue to build that way? We have to be able to define our success in ways that don't add up to wins and losses. Otherwise, we're going to be riding a roller coaster.
Absolutely.
And so, our ability this is why we need to come in and connect early, because when adversity hits, you want to be able to come together and not separate or fall apart and go into silos. It's hugely important for us to stay connected. That connection and the focus on the day-to-day takes care of the result, right?
Yeah, I guess the last thing, and we'll try to not take too much more of your time, but speak about the rest of this summer, what you got planned for the kids this summer, going into the fall, because once October, October's here before you know it. Once July's gone. I mean, it is right now here. So, what's the next steps for you all to get ready for the season?
We will continue with our Zoom calls over the course of the summer, so these kids get to know each other. When they get on campus, they're not, hey, who's, you
Yeah.
know, uh, we will continue with our workouts, right? Like we'll bring in high school kids with some of our players in the region, and we have open runs. We come in and play. Uh, that is a big part of it. These kids get to come in the gym. We're not really coaching them. We're just letting them play basketball and getting to know one another. We may go out to eat afterwards and do a little bit of team bonding, but that's all part of it too, right?
Yeah.
And then it's just about getting prepared. Like, what do we need to do to be organized from not only a strength and conditioning standpoint in the basketball piece, but what do they need to do for a connection piece? And how are we going to structure, those weekly gatherings and meals and all the little details that go into building a strong team? It's one of the hardest things to do in sports, is to have teams stay connected through adversity. And so it is the focus. We spend time on the phone. We get on the Zoom calls with them. We get to know them a little bit. We become a little bit vulnerable. We let them get to know us, right? Like, it's a two-way street. So we're super excited about the group we have coming in. They're hardworking young women, dedicated to their craft, very smart. Will be great in the classroom. So if we can be top 10 academically in the NAIA and win a championship, we'll be in good shape.
Yeah, that sounds like the goal.
Yeah.
For everybody watching out there, if you've not seen Coach Williams' teams play, come out this once season starts in November, December, throughout the season. Watch these girls play. They are it's a fun style of basketball, very competitive league. I mean, just it's such a good time at the gym or when you're at the arena.
It is a modern style of basketball. Like, we've made almost 573s in the last 2 years. We like an up-tempo pace. We take care of the basketball, so it's not this helter-skelter, throw it all over the yard. And then we can grind you out in the fourth quarter. So we want to make it exciting for the fans. Our girls have fun playing that way. And come on out and see us.
Yeah. Coach, I don't know if I missed anything. If I have, just let me know. If not,
I know I always miss a few things, so I apologize to those young ladies who I missed your name, but there'll be more podcasts and more opportunities to get it out there. So
yeah, I'm sure we'll catch up with Coach Williams before the season starts. For Coach Clifton Williams, I'm Randy White on Unwired Appalachia. We'll see you next time.
appreciate it, Randy.